Lately, I've been messing around with touchscreens, and I've been trying to figure out a useful user interface to put into a computer in my stereo. Um, and I've been playing with different frameworks, and the one that stood out for me as the most promising at this point is called Clutter, and I'll tell you about it. So Clutter is an API for graphical user interfaces. It was built by Intel for its Moblin OS. Clutter has bindings for lots of languages. So I tend to use Python. It's a C API. There are also C Sharp, Ruby, Vala. Other languages are supported. Now, when I originally was looking into Clutter, it was looking like it was extremely promising with Nokia and Intel getting together with their MeeGo operating system. Ubuntu was building their new Unity interface on it for netbooks. That was in the Maverick version. Now, of course, Nokia looks like it's going away from MeeGo, and Ubuntu has dropped Clutter for Compiz in Unity. Um, so but it's still awesome. Chrome OS uses it, GNOME Shell uses it, and a bunch of the GNOME games have been ported to use it. So, interesting thing about that is if you want to go see uh, decent code samples of applications that are using Clutter, the GNOME games are a good place to do that. So what can Clutter do? Two main things it can do, a little bit more than this, but the main things it can do are animations in 3D, and it can handle events. So keyboard events or mouse events, as we'll see right here. And so if you want to get started using Clutter, if you're on Ubuntu, then the Python Clutter package will pull down the C libclutter binary as well as the Python bindings for it. The package, if you just want the C library, is called libclutter. The API documentation is available on the Clutter project website. So let's do a demo. Pretend we're in a Python shell. We're kind of not, but just for the sake of the demo, pretend we are. So if you want to actually type this in, if you've installed Python Clutter, if you want to type this into a Python shell, then that'll work just as well. So the first thing you do is you import Clutter. That'll give you access to all of the objects and functions. And then the next thing you do is you create a stage. Now, a stage in Clutter is where all the action happens. So here we've created a stage. We'll set the background color to black. We'll set the size to something that fits on the screen, and we'll show it. So we have a stage. Naturally, we want to put something on the stage, so we'll create a picture. Pictures in Clutter are called textures. So this is texture new from file, just means create a new texture with that file on your hard drive in the current directory, and we'll show it, add it to the stage. And next thing we'll do is I want to center the picture so I can start moving it around. So the first part of that is I'm going to move the handle on the picture into the center of the picture to make it easier to move the whole picture into the center of the screen, and then we can animate it. So this is the cool thing I like about Clutter, is animation is really easy. If you look here, all you have to do to animate something is say how you want to animate it. So in this case, ease out, expo means exponential. That's just, ease out means slow down as you're animating, and exponential is the curve over time. 1200 is the number of milliseconds to take for the animation, and then you tell it what it should look like when it's done. So X is move it to the right a little bit to position 400. Rotation angle Y means rotate along the y-axis to negative 70 degrees. And depth means we're pushing it into the stage. Negative numbers means into the stage. Positive numbers means out of the stage. And then we can animate it back. So rotation angle 0, depth 0, and you can keep moving it back and forth. So we'll close the window. So you can end up with something kind of like this. The sorts of UI you might be familiar with on certain touchscreen devices. So I would like to give a shout out to the Tux Radar guys. They're the ones who originally got me started with Clutter. They have a great tutorial on their website. This whole presentation was created in Clutter, so if you want to look at the source code for that, I have it up in my Launchpad space. You can pull it down with Bazaar. I'll have this video up on my blog, flyingsquirrel.ca, and I originally gave this presentation a couple days ago to the KWLUG Linux user group, KWLUG.org. The cat picture comes from dieinaFire.com. Thanks. Feel free to leave questions on my blog.